Hey folks, it's Craig with Montana Real Estate Channel, brought to you by Cypher's Family Real Estate. And today, as you can see, we've got some pretty overcast skies. It's the snow's starting to come down here. There you are looking out towards the Sapphire Range here in the Bitterroot Valley in Montana. And luckily enough, I ended up getting my last bananas off the trees here just before the snow began to fall in the banana belt of Montana. Today we're going to take a look at affordable housing in the Bitterroot Valley. We're right now at Aspen Ridge, which is vacant land that's available on the east side near Florence, Montana. And I'd have to say I don't know that this falls within the category of affordable because there's going to be some pretty nice houses. You might be able to see behind us some examples of some great properties. But up this way, up the upper Woodchuck, we have properties that are off-grid. They've got some challenges in terms of water. Access is good, but you'll be able to see the road when we get up there. And so we're going to go take a look. The National Association of Realtors has said that Montana is the least affordable state in the union for real estate, and it's a challenge finding affordable housing. So we're going to try to focus on that today in this video in the Bitterroot Valley. So come on and let's take a little journey with me. So here we are in western Montana, and this is the Bitterroot Valley, and we're going to start out in the town of Florence. And you can see it's snowing here a little bit in Florence, and Florence sits up here in the north end of the Bitterroot Valley, and we're going to go out of Florence. We're going to go northeast there into an area that's known as Upper Woodchuck, and it sits up here in the trees. So here we are at the Upper Woodchuck Road, and it tells you right from the get-go that this is a narrow seasonal private road. And it's actually not too bad, but it's located a little higher elevation. And today we're getting some snow accumulation, whereas on the valley floor, it's melting almost as fast as it's falling. Some of the homes up here are year-round residents, but there are a few recreational properties. They are, by Bitterroot Valley standards, relatively affordable. However, over the past few years, there have not been a lot of sales. In fact, over the past handful of years, only about 16 parcels have sold. And the lots are between 10 and 20 acres. And over that period, there were a couple of properties that sold between $630,000 and $685,000. But even with those sales, the average resident sold for $249,525. And you're off the grid here, and getting a well is tricky and a bit of a gamble. And it usually between 120 to over 500 foot in depth, with flows that are between 5 and 6 gallons per minute. And those were just some of the examples of homes that are up in the Woodchuck area, and they can be affordable if you can find them. So the climate in Bitterroot Valley in Ravalli County is relatively mild, and of course that's why they call it the Banana Belt. And here we're driving on US Highway 93, and you can see it's wet, it's snowing out, but it's not really sticking. This is not atypical. Lots of times the snow won't accumulate unless you're above 4,000 feet. And we're driving into the community of Stevensville here, which is Montana's oldest established community, which began in 1841 with the Jesuits at St. Mary's Mission. And you can see out here in the distance, we're looking west towards the Bitterroot Mountains, which are completely enshrouded in fog. And so Stevensville lies just south here of Florence as we're going down the Bitterroot Valley. And there are a lot of affordable homes in Stevensville. The population of the town itself
is just a little over 2,000 people as of the 2020 census. But interestingly, the zip code of 59870 has a population of just over 12,000 people as of 2024. So that gives you an idea that it is very rural. Great little town, a great, nice little community, pretty tight knit. There are a smattering of homes. You've got your older single family. This particular area also have some manufactured homes that are in mobile home parks, and they are not included in our statistics for affordability, but you can buy a manufactured home sometimes around 40 or 50,000. Lot rent ranges from 350 to 450 depending on the park that you're in. But on this side of town, which is on the older portion on the west side of Main Street, the average home price in the last year has been just around $390,000, and these homes are 1,1300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, and so they're relatively affordable. Now, there are some infill in these areas with the newer homes, and you'll see them as we go by, but there is a newer subdivision within the last 10 years or so, and it's called Twin Creeks. It's out here on the southeast part of Stevensville, and you can see these are newer homes, and these homes will range in value, sale price in the mid 400s on up. And this particular subdivision or addition to Stevensville, relatively new, but there is a new phase going in here. So it's called Twin Creeks Phase 2. And so they are building homes in here. I anticipate these homes will compete in the mid to upper 400s on the low end. And for Ravalli County, that's relatively affordable in the current market. So these homes will be coming to market here shortly. We have a few that are in the ground that will no doubt be on the market by spring. And so although this is an addition to Stevensville, and it is on city water and sewer, there is high groundwater out in this area. So all these homes are built on slabs, and it is just a little ways from Stevensville. You could actually walk, but it's still almost a rural environment here in Twin Creeks.
So here we are in Victor, Montana, and as you can see, winter has gotten to us. We're at about 3,415 feet in elevation here on US Highway 93 in Victor, and we're going to go out here. We don't see the mountains in the background. It's usually very beautiful, but this is part of what you get in December. You'll notice we don't have any snow on the ground because the snow will be coming. But we don't get a lot of snow here in the Bitterroot, as you saw my bananas in the first part of this video. But we're going to go out and take a look at some of the affordable housing areas in Victor.
Of 2023, the population of Victor was estimated to be around 950 people. Now, Victor is an unincorporated census-designated place with a community sewer system, and this past year, the average sold price of a single-family detached home was $312,625, and an average home would be about 1,200 square feet. There currently is a great condo for sale by my buddy Bob Pauley for $165,000, and it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo, and a purchase on that would be less than rent. So Victor can be affordable, but you have a mix of stick frame homes, manufactured homes, multifamily, all in a non-zone community. In the greater Victor area, with the 59875 zip code, there are about 4,200 residences And over the past few years, the average sale price in that zip code was just around 900,000. But this past year, this year, 2025, the average has actually dropped to 656,000. So you can see that there's a large rural area here, and you can see that on our Victor and Corvallis video in our library on the Montana Real Estate channel. Of course, brought to you by Cypher's Family Real Estate. And we'd love to have you give us a comment, tell us what you think about the market so far. Our next community is Corvallis, just a little further south. Corvallis is also an unincorporated census designated area with a population of approximately 1,125 folks as of the 2020 census. And the greater Corvallis area within the 59828 zip code has a population of about 5,800 people. And the average sale price on the north side of town in Corvallis was $311,821 in the past year. And Corvallis has a community sewer system. And like Victor, it's kind of a little bit of a mix. There's no zoning, of course, in Corvallis, and it's very close to Hamilton. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go out to another off-grid area in the Corvallis zip code. This area is just east of Corvallis, up in this general area here. This is called Soft Rock, and it's a beautiful area that's got wonderful views of the valley. It's got a little mix of timber, grasslands, some terrain out here, and there have only been less than a handful of sales over the last few years, actually. And this is very similar to the Upper Woodchuck area. It is off-grid. The road, after a little bit, can be a little bit challenging, but your super values up there in the sales, they've averaged 32 acres, and the price is averaged to $455,000. Where are you likely to see a gun show in December, just in time for Christmas? Well, right here in Hamilton, Montana, the Ravalli County seat at an elevation of 3,573 feet. It's located right down here in the southern portion of the valley.
Yep, so here we are on the north side of Hamilton, and the north side has, it's the northwest side of Hamilton. It's an older part of town. You could probably see some of the houses in the background. They tend to be a little bit smaller, but in terms of affordability, this side of Hamilton, in the last year, there were 39 sales, and the average of all the sales in the last year in Hamilton was 411,000 was the average of those 39 sales. And if you took the top sale out, which was over by the hospital near the river, that was an $805,000 property. And so if you take that one out, drop down to 38, got about a $390,000 average home price. And so that's affordable, isn't it? To be living in one of the greatest spots in Montana? I think so.
Hamilton is one of 3 incorporated towns in the valley, along with Stevensville and Darby. The town's estimated 2025 population is 5,547 residents, and the population of the 59840 zip code is estimated to be 15,213. And of course, these homes are on lots with city water and sewer and all the amenities that you could hope for. Our next and last stop on our affordability tour is Darby, here in the southern part of the Bitterroot Valley. And Darby, as mentioned before, is an incorporated town with an estimated population of 892 people. And the population of the 59829 zip code is roughly 2,500 folks. And there are a variety of homes, and you can see our full video on the South Valley, which includes Darby, Connor, and Sula in the Montana Real Estate Library, and we encourage you to take a look at those. If you like our content, please hit the subscribe button, leave us a comment. We appreciate you, and hope you continue watching our channel.
So here we are on a winter's day, about the first part of December, and really usually we have some pretty good weather all in all, but today it's been overcast. It's only about 4:15 here in Darby, and Darby does have some of the more affordable housing in the Bitterroot Valley, and you can expect to be buying, say, a lot in town, brand new, with city water and sewer, for probably somewhere between 125,000. We'll go up here in the northwest part of Darby is probably the least expensive, and take a look through that. Talk a little bit about affordability in Ravalli County here in the Bitterroot Valley, western Montana. Now, of course, Darby, you may recall, became really a hot spot because of the Paramount television series Yellowstone. And of course, Yellowstone has wrapped up the filming, and so Darby's a little more quiet now. But the real estate market is still relatively decent here.
There were only 5 sales in the town of Darby within the last year, and the average sale price for those 5 was $290,800. Now, that average price was really skewed because there was one sale that was a pure fixer-upper that sold for $100,000. So if we take that outlier out of the equation, our average sale price was $338,500 for the incorporated town of Darby. So we can see there are some affordable home options in the Bitterroot Valley, and this is true for most places in Montana. If you scour it correctly, you'll find your gem.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this video about affordable housing in the Bitterroot Valley. Right behind me, we have the Sapphire restaurant, which is very famous here in Darby. I'm not going to need to go over there because at least I have my bananas here that I can chow down on. But this has been the Montana Real Estate Channel, brought to you by Sapphire Family Real Estate. We'd love to be a resource for you. It's a very gloomy day in December, late afternoon, about 4:30. You can see that we've got a lot of overcast, but generally this is beautiful in Montana. So you're getting to see kind of the downside of it, if you will. But if you ever have any questions about real estate in Montana, lifestyle, culture, send us an email, give us a call. Sapphire Family Real Estate since 1966.